Call Choice Home Warranty now before something breaks down.
Get protection for your heating, AC, plumbing, kitchen, and laundry appliances, and more. Call for your free quote today. Call in the next 5 minutes and get your first month free. 800-418-1754. 800-418-1754.
Sports with Mike Ludlam is on 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, the storm has subsided and now we're all digging out. As thousands in the UP are still without power today, some things homeowners should know about storm-related power issues. Plus, the second recall effort against 2 Marquette school board members is denied. Why the Election Commission put the brakes on the petition language. And the overwhelming work that lies ahead for the city of Baltimore as cleanup continues after the bridge collapse. Our team is live near the bridge tonight. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
I am very glad this is all over with, but I honestly cannot stop cracking up about how different Marquette and Ishpeming look after the storm.
I know, but it kind of makes sense. They're in higher terrain, and that was the outlook. Taking a look at this picture that Scott Minshall took yesterday out there in Ishpeming. We're going to pull up these Zoom totals. We're going to zoom in on our snow totals. Herman kicked butt with 28 inches over the past 24 hours. West Ishpeming had 24 as well as National Mine, and then Negaunee really close behind there with about 19 inches of snow. I'll go over the details though as far as what we're expecting for the rest of our night and this week.
Thanks, Air. There are still thousands without power right now in areas where that heavy, wet snow is weighing down power lines. Here's the current numbers tonight. As of about 5:30, UPCO is still reporting about 3,400 outages. The Alger Delta Co-op, 835. A vast majority of those are in Menominee County. Cloverland Electric, over 130. Marquette BOP, no outages being reported right now. And We Energies is reporting about 164. A Dickinson County electric company is advising homeowners to monitor for ice and snow accumulations on their roofs to prevent any further damage. Downed trees, limbs, and branches can all impact power lines as well as heavy snow. G. Brooks Electric says when storm damage occurs, it's important for homeowners to understand what parts of their equipment are the power company's responsibility and what is required of the homeowner.
A heavy branch fell and tore the wiring off the side of the house. The wire coming to the house, the power company is responsible for. The rest of the equipment that's on the house, the homeowner is responsible for.
He says to call your electricity provider for any storm-related emergencies. Residents of Negaunee and Ishpeming are still clearing out that heavy snow that carried through even into this morning. Several road commission workers were hauling truckloads of snow off the sidewalks and side streets today. Workers say the snow is heavy and packed down. I can attest to that. Residents say a majority of the roads are plowed, but now they're working their way through uncovering their parked cars.
April storm, heavy, wet, and fills in everywhere. I didn't think we were going to end up getting this much. With the weather, I figured we were going to get a little more rain, but it'll all be gone in about 3-4 days. 40s and 50s for the next week, so.
One of the plow drivers told us he worked 2 14-hour shifts trying to get everything cleared, and crews expect to have a majority of the snow cleared off the sidewalks by tomorrow afternoon. Developing now, recall language against 2 Marquette area public school board members is denied for being unclear. Language was filed last month for the recall of school board members Jennifer Clipp and Jennifer Ray. In a clarity review hearing this afternoon, the Marquette Election Commission unanimously voted 3-0 to deny the language. According to the commission, the language didn't meet clarity criteria in order to move forward with the recall. The commission members made it clear their decision had nothing to do with what the public was saying about the matter.
When I have a recall petition in front of me, I don't even look at the news media. I stop because I want you both to know that I take this very seriously, as do they.
This is the second recall effort against Clip and Ray. The first effort was also denied last September. Margaret Brum, who filed this petition language, now has 10 days to appeal the Election Commission's decision. With just 12 days until the special election to fill the vacant seats in the Michigan House of Representatives, there's a few bills in the legislature waiting for lawmakers to return to work. One bill introduced in the Senate would require drivers to maintain a 200-foot following distance behind snowplows. The bill's author says similar legislation has already had a positive impact in Wisconsin and would still allow cars to pass snowplows. Another bill in the House has a goal of expanding and modernizing economic renaissance zones.
These zones are really created to look around the state and say, where do we need some investment and how can we incentivize businesses and communities to kind of work together to create jobs, to create investment.
Coming up tonight at 11:10 Central, we'll have more from the author of those bills and their status in Michigan's legislature. We have new video tonight out of Baltimore, Maryland, about a week after a cargo ship crashed into a bridge, killing 6 people. Crews are still cleaning up the mess despite a lot of challenges they're facing. Tonight, our Washington, D.C. correspondent Rachel Knapp is near the bridge. Rachel, what's the latest on the cleanup out there?
Good evening, Sarah. So as you can see right behind me, that cargo ship is still mangled in what's left of this bridge. This collision has impacted the port of Baltimore. It's an important port. It's one of the busiest ports in our country. But Maryland Governor Wes Moore, he recently announced that they have temporarily opened up about 2 channels to allow some ships to get through. But Sarah, they're really trying to work hard and fast to try to get as much debris out from that main channel area where that cargo ship is so that these bigger ships can go through. And I want to step aside for a second so hopefully you can get a little bit of a better picture of what we're seeing out here. Now, Governor Moore says that the lack of the clarity in the water makes it difficult for divers to see more than 2 feet in front of them. So they're using sonar equipment for a 3D rendering to better understand the situation beneath the surface. Now, here's what Governor Moore had to say about the recent underwater renderings.
That's the key bridge. And what we see here is while the images that we are able to see with the camera of above the water are breathtaking and horrifying, what we are seeing here under the water, where you're now having debris and wreckage that is sitting inside of a channel, inside the Patapsco River, much of it collapsed and pancaked with a 50-foot depth, is absolutely staggering.
And Sarah, just seeing this site itself is just phenomenal. Brendan Scanlon and I, as we were driving over here, our mouths dropped. We were definitely surprised to see just how large it is. I'm going to, again, step aside so hopefully y'all can get a better picture of this. But, you know, this massive 984-foot container ship remains just stuck in place, and recovery efforts are still underway for those 4 missing workers, because 2 were recovered a couple days ago. Now, aside from those efforts, and one of the big goals is clearing, again, all the debris as soon as possible. Now, rebuilding the bridge, Sarah, it could take a long time to do it. Some experts believe it could take anywhere from like a year and a half to maybe a couple of years, and it's not going to come cheap. They do expect it could cost hundreds of millions of dollars, maybe even potentially more. Now, President Biden is scheduled to come here and visit this bridge site tomorrow. Sarah, back to you.
All right, Rachel, thank you very much. Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break, plus catching the eclipse. We talked to a space company in Marquette about some of the science about the solar eclipse. And later, a highly pathogenic strain of avian flu spreading around the U.S., including farms in lower Michigan. What the CDC says farmers need to know. We're back in 2 minutes.
John's Auto is quickly becoming everybody's favorite place to get their car fixed.
That's because at John's Auto, communication is the key to service.
When we have your car, you can expect to be updated on what's going on.
And Craig here will explain repairs in terms I even understand, and I'm only 9.
For a better service experience, come to John's Auto Marquette.
And don't forget, we're still your #1 source for a pre-owned vehicle in Marquette County.
John's Auto Marquette.
Everybody's talking about Elsbeth.
Ooh. Oh my God, I love it.
If you push, shouldn't the victim have landed on her back?
Observe and report. Stop sticking your nose in everything. You're very observant.
I'm not sure it was an accident.
My God, she's making sense.
I know.
An Elsbeth special event with back-to-back new episodes tonight at 9/8 Central on CBS.
To catch him, they'll use every trick in the book.
Top investigators and police use the latest forensic science to uncover the truth and solve real cases. The devil is always in the details. Forensic Factor.
Mitchell Reif reports at 6 and 11 on WZMQ 19 News. Tonight's weather is brought to you by Shunk Furniture.
It's Shunk's big spring sale. Sofas, sectionals, and recliners are on sale now at Shunk's and get 12 months to pay with no interest. We have a large selection of sofas, sell price from $3.99 to $6.99. Like this large 88-inch sofa is just $4.99. Or how about this super comfortable double reclining sofa for just $6.68? In sectionals, there's over 50 different sectionals available between $6.99 and $10.99 like this. And heavy-duty recliners like this are just $2.79. Shop Shunk's today.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasic.
Current temperatures in that 35 to 45 degree range. We do have a little bit of sunshine out there here in downtown Marquette. Some sprinkles down south here, especially near Escanaba. You can expect those isolated sprinkles continuing into the evening, and we could see some flurries flying around the rest of the UP as well. Most likely, though, up north. Let's take a look, though, as we get into our Thursday night. Here we go. Basically, Marquette County, we're going to see a mixture of a whole bunch of stuff. Snowflakes, raindrops, and whatnot. Even in our morning, we do have a chance of flurries floating around, but then lots of sunshine, my friends. We've got gradual sun throughout the day, then mostly clear skies for our Friday night. And then, yeah, we'll have some clouds basically for the west half there on Saturday morning. But other than that, it's looking very gorgeous this weekend. Get outside, enjoy that, because taking a look back at March, we had an average high of about 60, or that was our high record, around 61 degrees. Normally, we're around 34.9 degrees. And our low 7. So we did have a decrease in what the norm is for the low, but an increase with the high. No surprise. We all experienced, you know, some 60-degree days, like it says. Snowfall, also not a surprise that we didn't see a lot. And as far as precipitation, we were definitely under the norm there with just 86 hundredths of an inch. Precipitation outlook, though, for the next 6 to 10 days, we're in this likely to above normal kind of, or sorry, excuse me, near to above normal range. Could be a little bit wetter over there on the west side, and a little bit of the usual activity for our spring on the nose of the UP. And then our temperatures, we are warming up. Check this out. The UP is all above normal temps going into next week. So that's something to look forward to. And then taking a quick look back at what happened last April, we saw more snow than rain. Okay, warmest day was 80 degrees on April 14th. Coldest day there with 8 degrees at the beginning of April. So we're kind of in the same pattern as far as this April goes. I don't know, keep your fingers crossed. Things could change. I am hoping for a lot more sunshine. Speaking of which, we've got this tomorrow, that UV index around 5, which is in that moderate category. Burn times around 45 minutes, and that's gonna be in the mid-morning to mid-afternoon. So if you're affected by that, make sure you get inside during those hours. But we'll be in that 40-degree range, and our 7-day outlook for Marquette, yes, things have changed for our Monday. We've got sunshine, though, this weekend. Monday, we do have a chance of afternoon sprinkles, mostly cloudy skies possible across the UP, but I'll give you a preview of what we're expecting as far as the eclipse coming up.
Thanks, Air. And coming up next, we are getting you ready for Monday's solar eclipse. The resident space experts in Marquette are sharing some of the science you might not know about.
Sleep better with a new mattress from Kirkish Furniture. We proudly feature made in the Midwest Restonic mattresses. Try one out today and compare other major brands. Let our sleep specialists help you find the bed of your dreams at Kirkish Furniture.
So I've been with BCMH 20 years. We take care of our community. I feel like I am leaving my patients in very good hands. We've expanded in some really good ways. Now we have urology here, we have a new practice in cardiology. In my career, the hospital has changed, medicine has changed. At the end of the day, it's always been our family caring for yours.
Pictionary.
I can't wait for this. Where's my popcorn?
Play along from home.
Iguana? Iguana is correct.
With a chance to win
You just did a cartwheel and you're like 7'6".
every weekday.
Pictionary, weekdays at 9 on WZMQ CBS.
Tonight, a deadly storm system moves from the heartland to the northeast, and in California, people brace for another storm that will drench the already flood-ravaged region. Then, a small Midwestern town gets a rare eclipse double feature on the CBS Evening News.
This is your team,
So we've got a couple of things on our list to cover today.
preparing to bring you the news. It's live, it's local, and it's all about you.
Amy's going to be meeting with the union president for
Giving you the information edge.
But I'm hoping to film that package tonight.
Sharing what's ahead, helping you prepare for weather changes.
We've got cold temperatures, wind.
A fresh, trusted approach to news.
Good evening, everyone.
19 News, weeknights at 6 and 11.
Home for CBS is WZMQ 19.
You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
In just a few days, a celestial phenomenon will appear in the sky with millions across the U.S. watching. WZMQ's Mitchell Reif spoke with a company that's focused on space innovation to find out more about the solar eclipse.
And this is purely a coincidence. Other planets like Mars do not experience eclipses like we do.
Our moon is in constant orbit around the Earth and is the 6th largest moon in our entire solar system. And only twice a year, it can travel in front of the sun while it's still daylight, resulting in what's known as the solar eclipse.
With an eclipse, it appears to be less bright. So our brain says, oh, now it's okay to stare at that giant, bright thing.
One of KMI's founders, Adam Call, says even though eclipses are a unique sight and the UP will only see roughly 78%, they don't come without dangers. The sun can cause permanent damage in just a few seconds of staring. Even the clouds could be affected by the eclipse. Because the moon covers a majority of sun rays, it can dissipate light coverage.
If you go to an area with a total solar eclipse, think about it for a moment. The power of the sun and the energy of the sun turns off for 4 minutes in the middle of the day. If there are cicadas out, they will stop making noise as it gets towards the total solar eclipse, and the crickets will come out for a couple of minutes.
To safely observe the solar eclipse, Call says a pair of glasses or binoculars that have an ISO certification number of 12312-2 can be a safe option.
Look down, put the glasses on, and then look up towards the sun. And before you remove them, look back down and remove your glasses.
You can even use a shoebox.
I've cut out a hole and I've put a little bit of tin foil, and I've literally taken a sewing pin and I poked a tiny hole in. That's going to restrict the amount of light that is allowed into the shoebox.
Although the UP might only see a portion of the eclipse, preparation is key to safely see the phenomenon. Mitchell Reif, WZMQ 19 News, Marquette.
And this is
WZMQ 19 will have a special live broadcast this Monday for the solar eclipse starting at 3 p.m. just moments before the eclipse passes through. Again, that is Monday, April 8th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Outbreaks of bird flu have been reported at poultry facilities across the country, including the first reported case at 2 farms in Lower Michigan. America's largest egg producer is also dealing with the virus, and a person in Texas tested positive for bird flu, catching it from a mammal, which is the first known case of that happening. Omar Villafranca has more.
Cal, Maine, the nation's largest egg producer, shut down production and culled more than 1.5 million chickens after a major bird flu outbreak at its Palmer County, Texas plant. The number represents less than 4% of the company's flock and less than 1% of chickens in the U.S.
All the eggs were destroyed. The chickens are going to be destroyed, so it's completely safe.
This comes as 6 states are reporting outbreaks of avian flu among dairy cows. This week, a Texas dairy worker had pink eye after testing positive for the virus, becoming only the second known human case in the U.S. Texas Agriculture Commissioner Sid Miller says there's no reason for people to be alarmed.
The only way you could get it from eggs is if you ate them raw. I don't think that's going to be a problem. To consumers, eggs are safe.
You can't get bird flu from eating thoroughly cooked eggs or poultry, according to the USDA, who also advises you should wash your hands after touching raw poultry or eggs.
Go about business as usual. No spike in prices in either egg prices or dairy products. It's completely safe, no alarm, no need to change anything you're doing, really.
The CDC says it is continuing to work with the USDA, FDA, and state health departments to monitor people exposed to animals infected with these viruses. The Michigan Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, or MDARD, has information for farmers about the avian flu at michigan.gov/MDARD. Sports is on the way next. A Michigan Tech hockey player is headed to the AHL. Mike Ludlam has that and more next.
We've been off the air for a few weeks, but fear not, we haven't been ghosting you.
Oh, wait, what?
Oh, relax.
Great news, everyone.
Ghosts is back with new episodes all April long.
Did you know about this? Yes, but only because I pay attention.
And we're coming back big.
I have a reservation under Jeremy Lefkowitz.
My baby bro. He's older than my father was when he died of old age.
Very simple way to die.
A new Ghosts tonight, part of all new CBS Spring on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
The Shortlist, a countdown show that's all sports. See the greatest names and the greatest games in all sports. Sports fans love it, and you will too. That's The Shortlist, only from SSN, the Cindy Sports Network.
Scott Minshaw reports at 6 at 11 on WZMQ 19 News. A world at your fingertips gives you the advantage. Scan this right now. Weather, local news, community events, amazing video. It's cool. It's all yours. It's free. And it's on demand. Do it. Download the app from 19 News. Now you know.
I'm Rachel Knapp. Watch my reports live from Washington, only on 19 News.
Good evening, everyone. Michigan Tech fifth-year forward Logan Pietla has signed a pro contract with Wilkes-Barre Scranton in the American Hockey League for next season. He will join the team immediately on an amateur tryout agreement. The Penguins are affiliated with, logically, the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins. Pietla appeared in 180 games for the Huskies, tying all-time games played record. The two-time captain had 98 career points on 45 goals and 53 helpers. He scored 13 game-winning goals in his career, and as a senior, he had 29 points with 13 goals and 16 assists. Pietla is a native of Howell, Michigan. On the bad news for Michigan Tech, Ryland Mosley and Kyle Kukkonen will not be returning to the Huskies next season. They will join the Wisconsin Badgers. On the scoreboard, in the second game of the Bantam Under-14 Hockey Nationals in Amherst, New York, the Marquette Junior Wildcats trailed the Texas Tigers 1-0 going into the third period. Texas scored in the first. Now, yesterday, Marquette had 3 goals in the third period to defeat Cheektowaga, New York, 4-1. Cooper Anderson scored in the second. Then in the third period, it was Joseph Provost, Tyler Matulowicz, and Mason Hartz. Jacob Geller had 19 saves, so they'll have to pick it up in the third period. To the surprise of absolutely nobody, Johnny Ingles of St. Ignace has been named Mr. UP Basketball for this past season. This goes along with being the Associated Press Division IV Player of the Year, All-State First Team, and Straits Area Conference Player of the Year. Ingles averaged 30.4 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, more than 5.5 assists, along with 4.3 steals and 2.6 blocks per contest. He ended his Saints career with 2,029 points. St. Ignace reached the Division IV semifinals, losing to eventual state champion Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian. The Upper Peninsula Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association have announced their all-star teams for basketball. And as you can imagine, Johnny Ingles of St. Ignace is on the top. He's followed by Gavin Grondin of Kingsford, Jacob McPhee of Marquette, Oscar Kangas, who was an MVP in 2 conferences this year for Iron Mountain, and Levi Fromm of Jeffers. Taking a look at some of the coaches on team awards, Dan Oakland, the coach for Divisions 1 and 3, 2-3 of the year. He's from Kingsford. Doug Ingles, St. Ignace Division 4. Teams of the year, Marquette, Menominee, and St. Ignace. On the first team in Divisions 1 through 3, Tanner Therakoff of Menominee, Gavin Saunders of Negaunee, Matthew Schutz of Jeffers, Nate Kep of Sault Ste. Marie, and Ethan Marta of Westwood. In Division 4, the first team has Vic Giuliani of Forest Park, Alex Ortman of Norway, Trevor Nolan of Munising, Gabe Popko of Lakeland and Hubble, and Cam Peterson of Rudyard. Congratulations to all. Turning to baseball, Tigers, last undefeated team in baseball. Okay, they've had 2 rainouts. That doesn't hurt. Casey Mize gets his first strikeout since 2022. Then in the bottom of the 6th, great play by Gio Urshela to make the stop, and Colt Keith a nice catch to force the runner out. Top of the 8th, down a run, not anymore. Riley Green, deep to right field. This is good for more than 370 feet. Solo homer ties the score at 3. Top of the 11th. Tigers with runners in scoring position, and the new guy, Colt Keith, delivers this pitch to left center field for a double. Riley Green would slide home safely. Tigers with a 4-3 advantage. Hurry up, slide in safely, Riley. Thank you. And then insurance a little bit after that, as Gio Urshela with the blue hit to center field for a base knock. Matt Vierling and Colt Keith would score on the play. Tigers take a 6-3 lead, and they go on to win this one by the count of 6-3, and hopefully they'll get that second game of the doubleheader in sometime tonight.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mike. We here have sunny days ahead of us, and we'll be warming up over the next few days as well. Ariane has the outlook next.
Here's your WZMQ CBS This is Home Community Calendar.
Bucko's Party Store, where the party starts. They're your party store and more in Calumet. They have a great selection of snacks, frozen food, craft beers, and top shelf liquor. When the winter chill gets to you, keep warm and in style with Keweenaw alpaca gear.
Save your bucks at Bucko's!
Bucko's Party Store, open 7 days a week from 8:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. on 5th Street in Calumet.
Not being able to see up close can be frustrating. Introducing eye candy, the sweet new way to see everything bigger, brighter, and better than ever before. This lightweight, easy-to-hold magnifier utilizes an optical-grade lens that enlarges print by 300%. Yes, 300%. Embedded in eye candy's frame are 12 anti-glare LED lights that dramatically help increase clarity. It's a flashlight and magnifier in one. Lightweight and portable, eye candy is ideal for dimly lit restaurants. Read recipes, prescription bottles, or nutritional information. Order now to get your eye candy for only $19.99. But wait, there's breaking news. Eye candy may be discontinued. Due to rising costs, eye candy is shutting down and stopping manufacturing effective immediately. There's a strict limit of 3 eye candies per order. Order now.
Call 1-800-957-0215 or visit tryeyecandy.com. That's 1-800-957-0215. Order now.
Well, we're about 36 degrees here in Marquette. Everyone else just a little bit warmer. We'll expect those temperatures to cool down tonight in the 25 to 35 degree range. On Friday, it is going to be chilly in the morning, some flurries, that average temperature around 31 degrees, and then that solar eclipse coming on Monday. The good news, it's going to be dry and warm this weekend. The bad news, could have some afternoon rain showers on the way. So we'll keep you posted on that and our specials at 3 p.m.
Finally tonight, Rapid River's 4th and 5th grade robotics team is raising money for an international competition this June. After placing in regional and state competitions, the team qualified for the Worcester Polytechnics Institute Invitational in Massachusetts. The students say designing and programming their robot has been great preparation for the event.
We decided on the frame to build off from, and if we're going to make the robot more for lifting or pushing or pulling stuff.
The hardest part of programming a robot is like to get the robot to do the mission successfully without making any mistakes.
The trip will cost about $25,000, so the team is hosting a taco night fundraiser at the Rapid River Lions Club April 13th from 4 to 10 p.m. We have all the details at WZMQ19.com. We'll see you back here tonight at 11.
WZMQ TV 19, continuing to